thank you all for coming this afternoon. My name is Diane Hardy, and I'm the town planner here in Newmarket. And I'm here to open up the public information session. There was a legal notice that appeared in the newspaper and online. And the purpose of this information meeting is to introduce to the public our MS4 program and to present the draft of our stormwater management plan. This meeting is being held in accordance with section 2.3 of the EPA general permit for stormwater. We are required under the program to annually have an opportunity for public input and for the public to participation in the review and implementation of the stormwater management plan. In way of background, on July 1st, 2018, the town of Newmarket officially became part of the United States Environmental Protection Agency National Pollution Discharge Elimination Program. This is a national program which is aimed at improving New Hampshire's water quality with improved stormwater management, as well as an array of training and implementation tools to assist communities in its implementation. Stormwater is the leading cause of impaired water quality here in New Hampshire and carries a wide range of pollutants to our state's waterways, including bacteria, viruses, toxic metals, and excessive nitrogen. As part of the permit, we're required to implement a public education program and to provide information on stormwater issues of concern and to engage the public in the planning process. At this point, I'm going to turn our program over to Tim Pulse, who is our consulting engineer with Underwood Engineers. We've been working with Underwood Engineers for about a year now on this project, and they are assisting the town in putting together the stormwater management plan and assisting us in meeting the obligations under this permit. And with that, I'll turn it over to Tim, and he's going to give you an overview of the program.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Again, yes, I'm Tim Pulse with Underwood Engineers. We're just going to do a brief overview of the stormwater management program, the MS4 permit, and what it means to the town, and some of the ways that the town can get involved with this process. So the agenda for today, again, just address the MS4 general permit, just a quick overview. The stormwater management program, public education outreach, opportunities for involvement. So what is MS4? So that's the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. What is required is regulatory compliance of stormwater discharges from the MS4 to waters of the United States. That's the technical definition. So the MS4 communities, cities, towns. So this has Newmarket came under the permit as the small New Hampshire small MS4 permit. EPA issued the large medium MS4 permits in the past. The new permit was just issued in 2013. It has what they're regulating is stormwater discharges from your urbanized area, and those thresholds are the population threshold of 50,000 people and the density criteria of 1,000 per square mile. And here's a map of Newmarket's MS4 area. This is an EPA map. And you can see not all of Newmarket is within the designated area. So it's all the outfalls within this area that discharge to waters of the United States. And so this next map here is a map from New Hampshire DES. You can see the different water bodies or streams, rivers, brooks, rivers, all the way up to the Great Bay on the right side, and the colors. And there's also labels for each one of these water bodies that indicate the level of impairment or non-impairment that each one of these water bodies is designated as by New Hampshire DES through the 303D list. And those impairments have to do with specific pollutants. Now the MS4 requirements. So the basic requirements is that first you do a notice of intent, and that basically outlines your stormwater management program and how you are going to comply with the program over the next, it's a 5-year permit, so over the next 5 years. EPA issued their authorization to discharge in May of this year, 2019. And so what I'm going to talk about a little bit more is the stormwater management plan and the program. That's what was finished and is due to be finished by the end of this month. So it's a written document to describe the compliance activities that the town will engage in order to meet the requirements of the permit. It consists of 6 minimum control measures, which are defined in the permit, and these are different approaches that the city engages in order to reduce the amount of pollutants that are delivered into the water bodies with their stormwater from their MS4 area. It also evaluates the performance and status of their activities. There's metrics within there, and EPA really asks the towns to develop these metrics and then to report on them to really gauge how they're doing over the permit term. And then each year in October, there's an annual EPA report that's due. So the minimum control measures, this is really the heart of the MS4 permit. So there's public education and outreach, involvement in precipitation, illicit discharge detection and elimination program, construction runoff control, post-construction stormwater management, and that's from development and redevelopment sites, pollution prevention for municipal operations. So the first one that a lot of people will see are these public education and outreach components, and these are directed towards 4 targeted audiences. You have residential, you have businesses, commercial institution, that's all one, developers, construction developers, and industrial facilities. So there's different messages that go out to each one that apply to their land use and how the stormwater runs off their properties and what type of contaminants may be picked up from those properties. The public involvement. So there's a public, you can review the stormwater management program at Newmarket Newhampshire.gov. Other opportunities for public involvement include Adopt a Road program, and these are opportunities that the town is currently engaged in. So they have an Adopt a Road program, they have cleanups, roadside in general, both volunteer and town directed, cleanups for shoreline and water body, and they have a yard waste program which helps with removing nutrients from the MS4 area, and you can drop off the yard waste at the transfer station. So that's it. That's a real basic overview, and if there's any questions, I can answer them now.
Are there any questions from the public here today?
I believe if there's any questions, people can
I
email in or.
And let the public know that we have set up a web page on the town's website at www.newmarketnh.gov, and there's a bulletin on stormwater management that we just put up today, as a matter of fact, we completed it. And on there is a copy of our stormwater management plan, our notice of intent that Tim was talking about, as well as some information on the permit and some of the maps that he referred to in the presentation. And we'll also be putting up a copy of the PowerPoint presentation so that the public can hear that as well. And I guess unless we have any comments, I'd like to thank Tim for being here today, and thank you all for coming. And please feel free to call me if you have any questions about the program, or if you want to provide some comments. They can be written comments or informal comments. We'd like to hear from the public. It's really important that this is a living document that represents what the people in Newmarket want, and so that we can move this forward in the future. Thank you again,